I'm Hillary Clinton. I have been proud and privileged to serve as First Lady, as a senator from New York, and as Secretary of State.
I think I'm probably the most transparent person in public life.
I remember landing under sniper fire. There was supposed to be some kind of a greeting ceremony at the airport, but instead we just ran with our heads down to get into the vehicles.
You said, I remember landing under sniper.
Yeah, no, wait, that's what I said when I was sleep deprived.
My grandparents, came over here, and
turns out only one was an immigrant, 3 were not.
Which enemy are you most proud of?
well, in addition to the NRA, the health insurance companies, the drug companies.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman.
No matter who you are or who you love, I am fighting for you.
Oh, I think that everybody is in favor of free and fair trade, and I think that NAFTA is proving its worth.
You know, I have been a critic of NAFTA from the very beginning.
I was one of the voices in the administration warning about NAFTA.
You shouldn't always say everything you think if you're running for president.
I never took a position on Keystone until I took a position on Keystone.
We're either going to be dependent on dirty oil from the Gulf or dependent on dirty oil from Canada.
As president, would you sign a bill allowing the Keystone XL pipeline?
If it's undecided when I become president, I will answer your question.
Just for the record, are you a progressive or are you a moderate?
I'm a progressive.
I take a backseat to no one when you look at my record and standing up and fighting for progressive values.
You know, I get accused of being kind of moderate and center. I plead guilty.
Some people may think I'm too conservative.
I am proud to be the New York AFL-CIO's favorite sister.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. So I'm certainly well aware of the classification requirements and did not send classified material.
You set up a personal server, you set up your own email so that you would have control of those emails, and you alone would decide when to release them, whether to release them, and in fact, that is what happened.
Well, Savannah, first of all, it was allowed. And every government official gets to decide what is personal and work-related.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
I want to send a message to every survivor of sexual assault. Don't let anyone silence your voice. You have a right to be heard, and you have a right to be believed. We're with you.
And he tries to kiss me again. And the second time he tries to kiss me, he starts biting on my lip. Just a minute. He starts to bite on my top lip, and I try to pull away from him. And then he forces me down on the bed. And I just was very frightened. And I tried to get away from him, and I told him no. I didn't want this to happen. But he wouldn't listen.
Well, you know, if it's not this matter, it'll be another. People have been harassing my husband for, gosh, I don't know, ever since I've known him. This vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president. You know, I'm not sitting here as some little woman standing by my man like Tammy Wynette.
For 15 years, I have stood up against the right-wing machine, and I've come out stronger.
We've seen rage and violence directed at American embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
Leadership is also an honor, one that Chris Stevens and his colleagues in Benghazi embodied. And we must always strive to be worthy of that honor. That sacred charge has been my North Star every day that I've served as Secretary of State.
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans?
What difference at this point does it make?
I have gone further than anybody that I'm aware of in American history. Now, that's not a long history because we haven't had emails that long, but as long as we've had them, I've gone longer and farther to try to be as transparent as possible. Nobody else has done that.
A growing number say she's not honest and trustworthy.
The best way to know what change I will produce is to look at the changes that I've already made.
And I guess my attitude about all of this is that because I have seen so many false accusations against not just my husband, but myself, I really just want everybody to take a deep breath and relax and just, sit back, because here they come again. We're going to have to just ride through this as we have so many of these other false accusations.